Welcome to the Dawg and Gus show. Now on Feel It Radio.
You threw me off of that. What's going on?
I'm just throwing you off today. It's just one of the things I'm going to do a little bit more of.
Well, the President of the United States threw me off today.
Who cares?
Could you, who do we have on today? That's a good question.
It's not the President of the United States, I'll tell you that much.
Mr. Biden?
No, definitely not.
No. So what's going on?
Not much you, man.
This is Yanick. We call him
Renaissance.
That's right.
Renaissance, baby.
Yeah, man. So it's kind of our first hip hop artist, I think.
Kind of.
Yeah, like I think that we've had people that have rhymed before, but
Yes.
certainly not a prolific rhymer like yourself.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thanks for coming, man.
No, I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, so we did our podcast last week was us kind of celebrating a year. You're just about, I think you're our 50th guest, like our 50th episode, or
With all the episodes that we've had, this is actually 53, including the two that we...
well, let's not count them.
Okay, so it's 51.
51, okay. So you're one shy of a full year, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Congrats,
Yeah,
guys.
Thanks, man. But we put on that remake of Bleed where you rhyme on it, and it's fantastic. Great job on that.
Yeah, that track was awesome. Like, I've been trying to support a lot of local acts lately, and Wyntr, those guys are really awesome dudes. They're very creative. They're tight. And when I heard the original Bleed, and then I heard the podcast, and they talked about how there should have been a rapper on it, and Bing Bing, it went right in, and Bob and Ryan hit me up right away. So
Fucking awesome.
yeah, it's a cool track.
So do we get a producer shout out on that?
I
or-
think so, because I think when we were talking to him on the podcast, we may have suggested that to him.
Well, that's what you just said.
Is that what I heard?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
You guys go back to chatting, and I'm just going to take a nap.
Maybe when you guys put this out, you can edit that and
No,
cut it in.
No, we leave that
Good?
baby
Okay.
in there, brother.
Actually,
that's so funny.
That's up to me.
Yeah, but I mean, cut in that last interview.
Why are you giving me the finger? You fucked up.
No, I didn't. I'm, the
Well,
comic,
when the guest speaks, you listen.
I'm the comic relief.
Yeah, it's very funny. Actually.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So like, it's exciting for me because I don't know if you probably follow the show, but I'm a huge hip hop guy. Like I love old school '90s hip hop, and I think you and I would be similar in age, maybe a few years. I'm a few years older, perhaps. But who would be like if you were to go back and listen to your favorite CD or cassette? Maybe I don't know how old you are, but
Cassettes for sure.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice plastic film. They open it
Yeah.
up. You're mint. Who's the hip hop guy that you would go to, or girl even? Like
From the '90s.
yeah,
'Cause I really cut
any-
hip hop out of my life way back. So
Yeah.
I'd probably go Jay-Z, Mobb Deep, anything East Coast.
Really,
Yeah. Shine, Joe Budden. Joe Budden still sticks to me as one of the best lyricists, storytelling artists. He's just smooth. His mixtapes are phenomenal. His context, his metaphors, really dope.
Joe Budden
Yeah.
is a great answer because he was the king of the mixtape.
Yeah,
Remember, he would put those like random
Yeah.
mixtapes out, and
right.
oh man, that was a great answer.
I wasn't listening again. Joe Biden?
Yeah. Oh, well done.
Thank you very much.
But Joe Budden, yeah, great answer. See, I'm more of a West Coast guy, so I grew up with Snoop, the Doggy Style album came
Yeah.
out, and then just I liked Tupac. I still love Biggie. I love Mobb Deep. Even though Tupac, remember that album, like he just sort of shits all over them. But that was a cool. I even enjoyed that period of time. I hate that Tupac and Biggie ended up dying, but the music that came out then from the East and the West Coast, and Nas is one of my favorite of all time.
Nas is amazing.
Yeah, so
Amazing.
like, and obviously from New York, so it's like, I don't know, it's just that, and I do like Jay-Z, so it was pretty fun to have a good answer like Joe Budden.
Mm-hmm. So Matt and I are going to go down to the Black Dog, have a beer. You guys continue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why? You can still ask him some whimsical questions.
Whimsical. I have a really good question, but I'll save it for a little bit later. Now you mentioned Wyntr. When did you meet these guys? How did this happen? Because I know you're like every show I go to, you're there.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked about it just through social media, just mutual friends, and I got back on social media when Ornate the inception of Ornate, right?
Okay.
So because I disappeared from everything, from music, from social media, everything, it just was a ghost. So when I got back, I started getting the contacts again, and me and Ryan, Bob, and Lauren were all friends on Facebook.
Okay.
So then that's when they pitched the idea to me, and I was like, yeah, send me the instrumental right away, because I already had the track, but I was like, let me see where I can spit on this.
All right.
And then we just pieced it together, and it was just, it's such a cool chemistry that we have, because we're, you know, I have Ornate, my own band, they have their own project going, and we just connected and clicked. You get in there, you work. So I decided it doesn't matter what show that they do, I'm jumping on board on stage, because I miss the stage.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite part of it all, is performing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Like, is that part of the hype that you enjoy the most? Is when you get to go out and, you know, practice your craft and feel the audience and like just enjoy that atmosphere? Is that
Yep.
sort of where you
It is.
you shine?
Yeah, because when you write music and you create music, it's, yes, that part of it is for yourself, but it's, you want everybody to share that with you, right?
Mhm.
It's not, and you're not doing it for them either. You're doing it for yourself,
Yeah.
but you're, you know, it's a whole package, and it's, your job is not done until you show it to somebody on stage.
And it's a bonus when they love it.
Yes.
Like I was at the last show when Yanick got up on stage with Wyntr, and it was fabulous. It was just, it was so good, and everybody was grooving.
That crowd was
That crowd
crazy.
was
Oh
insane.
man, that was awesome.
Insane. And the other two bands were just amazing.
Was that at Brass Monkey?
Yeah, no, it was
Minotaur.
at,
Minotaur,
with
yeah.
Rock and Engine and This Disaster.
Oh, those are
We're working on
complete
getting on those lads on here as well.
Yeah, Rock and Engine would be cool. Steven, those guys are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So. And I was just with them as well too. We've been friends on social media for 4 years, never met. And that show, Eve of Opera, I showed up,
Yep.
Kevin and Steve, and
Yep.
me and Steve talked on FaceTime for 4 years, never met. He came over, he's like, "What's up, bro?
Yeah.
This game is happening." I was like, "This is cool."
Yeah.
Same with Steve. So man, that was a great night.
Yeah, we're working on getting them guys on as well.
Cool.
Eve of Operites.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're in charge of.
I'm working on them as well. So like Rock and Engine are really busy,
Yes.
but hopefully we can get them. They open for Ingve,
Yep.
and they said that was amazing
That's cool.
at the Brass Monkey.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I tried pitching that night to Steve to do a track with me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Nice.
I love their sound. It's heavy, it's deep,
Oh, it's so
and
good.
it's that good
So
old like Quebec rock,
Yes.
right? And you're just like, you
You
just want
like
to
it?
bang your head.
Gus, it's like stadium rock, man. It's just like, and they got the outfits on, and they're just, and what's the bass player? He's just,
GP.
he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's a rock star, man. He's
Yeah.
got that persona.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, he's so awesome.
That's fun. What do you do when you're not doing music? Do you have some pastimes you like to do?
Well, I got 5 daughters, so my hands are pretty full there. So yeah. You're supposed to keep the coffee in.
Five daughters.
I've got 2, and I was like, okay.
Okay, so
Funny
you're not
story.
so
I'm
busy.
busy.
You're not so special anymore.
Nope. I tried. We had 3 already, and I tried for a boy. Go!
And
Bang!
not.
Twin girls.
Oh no, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt.
Play the
leaving.
sound.
I just had twin girls, like just
Yeah,
6 months ago.
congratulations. It's fun, eh?
Yeah. It's something.
It is.
No, it's a blast. It's like totally changes your outlook on things for sure.
Wait till they get older, man. Just the way their brains work, and they know what the other one's gonna say and do. It's incredible.
Really, eh?
Oh, it's wild.
They
I
have
never
their own
believed in
language?
it.
They have their own
They do.
language? Yeah,
They
yeah.
talk at the same time, and you're like, "Oh, you're not even in the same room." it's absolutely awesome, man.
So no
And-
more kids then, I guess. You're
No,
sorry for that boy? You're
no.
good with it? Yeah.
After the hair is gone, that's it. It's gone.
Is that the rule? I
It
guess
is.
I'm not having any kids then because the hair's gone.
Well, you
Is that
still
the
have
rule?
all this, right?
I do.
You could just comb it over.
It's gonna get to that point where you pull it up right on top of my head.
That's when our relationship will end. Just so you know.
Nice.
Like, when you start pouring your beard over to the top.
When I do the René Levesque comb over.
Well, oui, c'est ça, je ne sais pas. Why don't we do a whimsical question?
Whimsical.
Yeah, if you were an animal, what would you be?
Lion.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Is that
Go
just
for the-
big, yeah.
It's
Can't
killer
go wrong.
instinct. And I got more and more these days, so.
Nice.
Well, to be a father of 5, let alone 5 daughters, but just 5, period, I think that you'd kind of have to be a lion and have a lion, like a queen that's just like, you know, she runs the show,
Yep.
but if you need to go hunt, you have to go hunt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too with the 5, because I work on the road for my job, and I'm 200 nights a year in hotels. So even started 8 years ago. So even when the twins were young, I was never home. I'd be gone Monday and come back Friday, and that went for up until now. So you gotta have a rock at home, somebody who can take care of everything.
Yeah, I would suspect so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, leaving 5 kids behind, absolutely a rock. Does she listen to the show? Because we're gonna see.
No,
she's
but
awesome.
she's gonna listen to this one.
Yeah, she is. 'Cause she am awesome.
Hey, how are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. That's us speaking to the camera.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's a good answer. I always describe myself either as like a lion or a tiger. I kind of like the tigers too.
Yeah.
More like Tigger for me.
Tigger?
Come on, the only one.
Oh, you're really into it today.
I
eh?
am.
feeling it. It's good
What's going on
vibes.
with me, huh?
I don't know, but maybe sharpen it up a bit.
Yeah, okay. I'm working on it. I'm not going to be as good as you, but I'll try my best.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Now, Yanick, I know probably the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask anyway. Do you feel like the established acts should be helping out, like the newer acts coming along, to show them the ropes of this business here, especially here in Ottawa?
In rock or in everything?
In everything.
Because it's totally different.
Yeah.
If I can touch on hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried twice to run a record label, right? Twice. So now I'm in my third run. And it was mostly hip hop back in the days, in the early 2000s, then 2012. And hip hop, it's hard because there's, to me anyways, I don't find there's much of a support system unless you're part of that support group. Individual artists, it always seems it's a fight to the top and everybody thinks they're at the top, right? So I think that should change first so that the established artists can help them and that it's welcomed help and it's not criticism or it's not hatred.
Yeah.
Or it's not, because that's a big thing now, right? Everywhere you walk, everybody's got big feet. You walk, well, it's a hater, right? You know, why you're stepping on my toes? It shouldn't be like that.
No.
But yes, the established acts should be helping the younger ones. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I knew that was going to be your answer for like the general like rock and stuff, because I know Wyntr is big proponents of that.
They are huge, and
Huge.
even the small stuff they're doing now, by their post of the day for bands and everything, right?
Yeah.
This is the highlight, you know, the Vinyl Heroes, Civilian,
Why
everybody.
they don't have to do that, right? But every day on Facebook they're putting up a different local band and giving them a nice shout out, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's very communal, and it's kind of how you kind of envision. You kind of want to all kind of grow together, right? And,
Yeah.
and I think that, you know, I think hip hop is kind of it is confrontational at times, just because that's sort of where the actual essence of it came. And, you know, I think that what you're doing is great. I loved it. What's the record label called?
Vested Vinyl Records.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, do you have any swag or what?
Well, since I brought it back now, it's going to be in the works, right? Because
yeah.
right now we have Ornate and we have Renaissance.
There you
So
go. Yeah, you're busy. You're busy. That's cool, man. I appreciate you doing that for the community for sure.
Gus is about the swag, if you haven't figured that out.
yes.
I'm all about the sauce, but
Well, I gotta get one of these.
yeah, we'll figure that out, bro.
Ornate hoodies, baby.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Hoodies are next, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll do it in the fall.
Sure.
We'll talk about this when we're not live on air.
No, we can talk about it now. Just go get a beer. We'll be back.
He's got one. He's good. He's slipping on one right now.
Stop record. We'll talk about it and then come back.
Oh, that's shit. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So, would you say you're introverted or extroverted? I think you're extroverted, but
A little bit.
Yeah.
You can see Matt smiling in the back. yes.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
similar to me, like, and you're the other way,
With Matt.
which is fine.
It's okay. Thank you for thank you for letting me be the way I am.
Yeah.
So
So you're
much.
51 in now, so let's
51 in. Oh, I see what you're saying.
What's
51st episode.
Oh, it's 51 in. There you go. Okay, got it.
Got it.
That'll be my record label. 51 in.
Nice. When you start up the record label and our promotions
No, it'll be Dawg and Gus Productions for sure.
production. Now we talked about venues. Sorry.
It's quite alright.
Well,
Never have kids, right?
And back,
So I'm not part of the conversation all the time.
Yeah,
and
I'm
back
just
to
happy
you.
to be part of it right now.
And back to Yanick. Do you have a favorite venue that you like to play? I don't want you to single out a venue and that piss off people, but is there a venue that you really like going to?
Well, I'm going to?
Yeah,
Well,
like
I
to-
started
to
getting
perform.
back out,
Yeah.
right? So if any venue that I really enjoyed back in the days are all closed.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So right now though, we're just getting out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go hit the cuff with the boys on the 8th,
Yeah.
and then we're just gonna move forward. But I mean, Minotaur was great.
Yeah,
I find a lot of the venues in Ottawa are too small.
they're very
The
small.
stages are small. We did live on Elgin at the start of the year, and we're 5 guys, and not small guys. Me, I'm the smallest out of the band, but I mean, you get Matt up, Wes up, Derek up, all the big boys, and I had to spend my time off stage in front of the stage.
Yeah.
I think somebody has to do something about venues. I think.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. It's kind of, there is an appeal to having a smaller venue to keep it kind of like, you know,
Intimate.
but I like where your head's at. What's if you were to go back? What was your favorite venue prior to?
Barrymore's was great.
Yeah,
Barrymore's was great.
yeah. Still, I mean, they're revamping it, eh? Did
Yeah,
you know that?
but no, I did not.
Yeah, so they're doing a lot of work out front. I don't know what's happening, like totally yet. I'd love to know. I've already told Dawg that if I win some cash, we're buying Barrymore's because
So they're not doing like Babylon and putting a dollar store, right? Like,
no, they're
what a shot to the community that was,
Yeah.
because you need another. I mean,
Yeah, no, you're right, and that's fine. You can say whatever you like.
Well,
We agree with you.
Yeah, like that whole area, like it sort of doesn't fit, right? Like although there's the quickie across the street, but like that quickie's been there for 50 years.
Exactly.
Right? So it fits in because, you know, you go there and you talk to a million people that are living outside
Yeah.
the quickie, but
Yeah.
I used to have this crummy job where I serviced that quickie. Great guy that runs that place. And then, but yeah, having a dollar ram or whatever it is, and then you have a really nice bridgehead across the street, and then Royal Oak's right there,
Yeah.
and like, it just doesn't fit to me.
No, it
And
doesn't.
having a great venue like Babylon was amazing.
Oh man.
I mean, how many more Dollaramas do we need?
Yeah, don't you
I
don't
think
need-
we're good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you'd think, but at the
No,
cost
I
of
think-
living
I
too, with
think-
everybody,
well,
they're
yes.
looking at their groceries, like, you know,
Oh,
dollar
yeah.
store groceries, right? So
crazy.
that I understand, but I mean, it's just Ottawa itself is losing everything that it had, and it's really sad, right? Like now you see everybody hitting the road, like Kingston, we did the barn burner at overtime. Like you're seeing venues that are accommodating all these bands, and everybody's going out. Something has to be done in town, and
Maybe.
Brad Lake's doing great with Pandemonium. It's just it's let's get some venues that, you know, you can accommodate all these bands all on stage and
Well,
give a good
I mean,
show.
he does a lot at the Brass Monkey, but that's a big place to fill.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like, I
true.
was there on a Thursday to see our friend Jordan from Finding Tune Elephant and his other band, and they were amazing. But the place, maybe there was like 50 people there.
Yeah.
And it's sad because these bands were amazing. Like all the bands were great, and there's only like 50 people watching.
Yeah, but
You know,
again, then you can
it's-
look at it the other way. There's 50 people.
Yes, I
Anyway, I
know.
understand what you're saying. It's
That's
tough. But having Barrymore's back, if it was to bring it back in all its glory, that would be phenomenal.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
It would bring back part of that Ottawa feel that, you know, because we do have a lot of venues, but like you said, there's none that really accommodate a larger band.
And some of them are not even helping the acts, right? We know one that's for sure not, and we don't have to mention names, but I mean, you know, when you're right downtown, that's what you should be doing, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, I was called by that one. It's like, you want me to do what? And sell all my, and give it, wait a minute. So I'm doing all the work, which, you know, selling tickets, as we already know,
Yeah.
from back in the days, it doesn't matter. Anybody can talk about selling tickets. We did that when we were like 17, 18. We were doing like dances at school.
Yep.
But it's such a hard thing to do, sell
Yeah.
tickets, right?
I know I've talked to Brad a couple of times. He's a good guy and stuff. He's working his butt off
Yes.
to get these shows out and stuff, and it's just he needs a little bit of help.
Brad, you're doing an awesome job. Don't stop.
Yeah, seriously, don't stop what you're doing. You're amazing.
Yeah.
We love you, Brad. We do. What's your favorite movie, and what does it reveal about you?
Favorite movie? Wow.
You know, we bounce back and forth from different questions.
No, that's all right. I was a big Jet Li fan, so I had every Jet Li movie that ever came out. So it's
Really?
probably, yeah, it's probably The Legend, but The Legend had a sequel too. But like Fist of Legend was great. Like anything Jet Li,
Nice.
for sure.
Nice.
Is this before he learned how to speak English? Or?
You must like Wu-Tang too.
Of course, of course.
Because they're very like kung fu and
Yes.
Yeah, that's one.
That tells me everything I need to know about it. You're a hip. That's why you like hip hop.
And-
You like to rhyme. You know. Goes
So
with-
we're done.
And weed. That's probably another thing too.
No.
No.
Nope. But that's one collab I want to do within the next year if I can do it, because I've been thinking about it for a while. Like there's a few. I've been trying to hassle JJ Wild to get that one done because I
JJ
really want that one done.
That'd be cool.
And Method Man, the guy is. If you've been following Method Man, anything he's doing,
Well, I've been following his fitness program.
insanity. He looks like he's 20 again,
I know he looks good.
and he spits fire on every track. That's the guy.
I love when he's with
who I want
Redman.
to collab with.
Like
Yes.
those two together. Like to me, Redman is like in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Reggie's like sick, and then but to have them together and how they play off each other,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal.
Meth is just so smooth on the mic.
I love Hot Nickels, man. He's
Yes,
just
so good.
So good. Yeah, I do. I'm a big fan of Method Man.
But yeah, that's one I really want to try to get out.
METHOD.
Man.
Very good, very good.
That's for
Yeah.
you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
The spelling's all correct.
G.
Ooh, G-U-S.
There you go.
Hey,
You got it.
I'm a rapper, man. I'm going on tour.
I noticed you got crazy with the highlighter. What happened to the purple?
The purple kind of faded away really quickly. I think the product is done. I think I have to buy a new one.
Okay.
Yeah, I was really pissed off about it. I had it all purple. It was all looking great. I go to school the next day and it looks like, I don't know.
It's like Blondie.
I know, right? Like I could almost be like Billy Gibb. I can go on tour with.
I think it's fine, bro. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it does.
I'll go on tour with ZZ Top.
Yeah, it goes with the brand because they're sponsored by a beard brand.
I could never
That's right.
shave again.
Yeah,
I have to
that's
keep
it.
the beard. Keep the beard.
What's your biggest challenges when it comes to music?
Right now it's tough because I'm working on my solo project that I would like to. It'll be my last solo album because that's it for solo. This is gonna be a double LP. It's called The Last Supper. Nobody steal that. So I'm working on that. But the hard thing is when I got back into music and I started the project with just one other guy, 418. So we pieced the band together. So I've been used to instrumentalists, people that play instruments and guitars and drums and everything's live. Back in the days, it was beats and sit with an MPC and computer, and not about that anymore. So one of the guys I did a track with last year, Gen X from up north Sudbury, that's where I was raised till I was 13. We did Same OG, and that track hit off big, but it was over some beats that he's done. So me and him became good friends. So now he's supplying me with a couple of hip hop beats for my solo album.
Nice.
It's still hard to, like, I look to the guys like Matt and Derek, like our guitarist and bassist were over. It's like, okay, let's track the next one, but we're tracking with real instruments. I had a beat producer in Saskatoon send me a beat. We demolished it, kept only the strings, and these guys all put real instruments to it. Because that's the hard part about it now. Once you work with people like that, you can't go back. It's not the same.
Well, it's not the same feel, right? Going
No.
from an electronic beat to a live like guy playing guitar and drums and stuff. It's not. It will never be. Even to me, would not be the same.
No.
I think it's also, if I may, I would imagine that it's also working with professionals, and you guys have a feel for each other, and then it just sort of happens, right? It's
Yeah.
just sort of like organic almost,
Yeah.
right? As opposed to going to something that doesn't feel right,
Yeah, and we're making it our own. It's just the luxury that I've had is working with great instrumentalists they're great at their craft, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is, and that's how we built Ornate, which is
Yeah.
something that I pride myself on. So
Yeah, I listened to the tunes on the way here. Ornate's. I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I listened to them on the way here on my drive from work.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, what was I going to say? If you had to pick, like you're doing a solo album, if you had anybody that you could get, doesn't matter who they are, who would you pick to help you out with this album?
producer-wise,
Producer, musician, singer, whatever. Like who would be the first person that you would think, oh my God, I need to have this person on my album?
somebody to produce it. I think it would have to be Timbaland.
Nice answer.
Because what he's done over his career with the surprises, the Nelly Furtados, the Timberlakes, just everything he's touched is just, it's so
Missy.
creative. Missy, like he's done so much, and even his individual stuff, it's just he goes out and just surprise, right? And it would be really cool to have Timbaland do something.
His beats would be amazing with your flow, I think, too.
You think so?
Yeah, because you kind of sound like, how Magoo is?
Yeah.
Like Timberland Magoo?
Yes, that was such a good
You
project.
you're
too.
sort of, that's where I get from you. Just
Okay.
like, because I could see where he would look at you, listen to you, and then put something together nicely. So Timbaland, not gonna happen. But Timbaland, if he's out there, we've got to get him on here. Man. Get on with our boy here.
Because he listens to us.
You never know.
Well, let's send him one. Let's just get him.
YouTube's a magical place.
It's
It
a
is.
magical mystery tour.
Inbox.
What were you like as a kid? Like, were you like a shit disturber? Were you kind of a good boy?
I was the oldest of four. It was tough, younger because we grew up north, and one of my sisters passed away. She had rare kidney disease, so
So sorry.
life was hard. Thank you. That was she passed out in 2003. She had a rare kidney disease that only 20 kids in Canada had. So growing up, it was dialysis machines, empty trucks, a solution, travel to Ottawa and stay at the Ronald McDonald House while she was getting. It was tough on my parents, and it was really tough. So, but it was good upbringing, and we had a lot of fun, a lot of travel, and my dad traveled on the road too. So it was like Friday night he'd come home, Saturday morning his road trip. Like he tried to do everything they could. But no, not really a shit disturber. not until high school.
Listen, I don't suspect so after that. Like, you had to really step up. Like, I would imagine your parents were dealing with a lot, so you being the oldest had to step into a position.
Yeah, my
Really?
brother too, and my
Yeah.
my younger sister too. It was hard on everybody, but everybody stepped up. So it was. But high school is completely different.
Yeah.
It was for most people.
It's a true story.
I like this one. What character traits do you respect most in other people?
honesty, drive, follow through, just regular solid people.
Yep.
Somebody who's solid. That's all you need these days, right?
Well, because Gus says this to me all the time, just throw it out there into the universe, right? And then you'll start to attract those people to you.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing that with Wyntr, because those guys are about as honest and forthgiving as you're going to meet.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, no
Yeah,
filters.
yeah, and they yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, Ryan can go away, but other than that, the rest of them, like Dick Man and like
Yeah,
Lauren,
Dick
guy was awesome.
Dick guy's cool.
Yeah.
Dick guy's
Lauren and Bob are okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Ryan.
No, I'm kidding. Ryan's great. Like, he's kind of like I get. I think it's because he's similar to who I am. Like
Yep.
smart ass.
Yeah,
like,
I get that.
You know, gets a good vibe. Like, has fun with people.
Yeah.
Which I loved. And then what did he call me? Joe Bonamassa?
He said you looked like Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah, because I had my hair like slicked back and like I was wearing a Adidas jump like track shirt jacket, you know. And he's just like, "You look like Joe Bonamassa."
But that's
you know? And
that's
like,
not an insult, man. Bonamassa's an amazing guitar player.
I know,
That's true.
but he's got a receding hairline, and there's no way this hair is going anywhere, bro.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You
So
know?
tune back in 10 years later.
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
I'm dead, and you're doing this by yourself.
No, the twins will be on with me.
That's right.
Oh, that's right, you're twins. Yeah, we're going to groom them to take my place.
Yes.
I think that was a quick yes. I'm not sure about that.
It'll be Dubs and Gus now.
Exactly.
Dubs and Gus. See you later, bro.
Can you stop? I've been replaced.
See you later, bro. Yeah, just kidding.
Bring on the twins.
Yes, exactly. They don't speak yet, but it's still better than Dawg. No, I'm just. Ooh, just kidding. Bro. You're the best. No,
It got cold in here all of a sudden.
where do you see it in 5 years? Like, where do you want your obviously the label, and then also your solo career will end, but you'll go into another, step into the projects that you want to be doing with groups.
Well, ornate, like the band project is the main project, right? My solo stuff's on the side, but it's still focus. And I just find that with the drive that I came in this year, I had 2023 goals. There's steps. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. I'm balancing both, and I'm doing it well now. I was asked that because when Ornate started, and like when it first started, it was 2 of us, then 3 of us, then 4. And I said, we had a talk, me and the co-founder, and I said, I don't think this project's gonna last as long as we think. Let's go in and make rock hip hop and get out, because I didn't think anybody wanted to hear me rap in my 40s. And I have a different drive now, and I said, no, I want to see how far we can push the Ornate project. I want to go for it, because that's a missing element in music right now, is rock hip hop. That's really good rock hip hop, right?
Well, there's that, right? Like that, there's a genre that you need to have.
They had it like in the 2000s.
Yes.
It was around.
Yeah.
A couple groups were like obviously Linkin Park and like I'm just trying to think of a couple. There was Limp Bizkit, I guess you could call that. And
Would you
I
consider?
don't know, what would you say? Like, would you say Limp Bizkit? No,
Ish.
he wasn't
But-
ish, but he was.
But they
not
didn't
like-
have, they had good instrumentation, but I'm not sure the rapper was up to par.
No,
with
Fred
rapping,
Durst,
so-
Fred Durst is not considered a good rapper. It was a bad one. Well, the Method Man did a song with them too, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That remix was sick. The Rollin' remix?
Yeah.
Rollin'. Oh,
That's
so
a great
good.
tune.
It is a great tune, but it's also the remix is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about? I'm going to throw it out there, and don't hurt me if I say it. If I Rage, would Rage be considered?
Maybe a little, but they're
Because they
just
do-
they're just
that's
hard.
hard,
They're
right?
heavier, yeah. Well, his vocals are very methodical and rhyming
Yeah.
and angry. And
Oh, we know that.
Yeah, and that kind of goes with the whole feel, and then
Yeah.
I find the bassist is excellent, but then of course Morello.
There's that guitar player
Yeah,
they have.
Morello is like off the chain.
Yeah, and the instrumentation of that begged for hip hop too, right? Like
Yeah.
you could have put a rapper on any one of their tracks.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
make it.
Yeah.
So, but Morello, that's why I'm a big fan of Chris Cornell and Audio Slave,
Yeah,
and, right?
no,
So
they were great.
you haven't seen it yet, but what Ornate does the Like a Stone remix.
Oh, really?
Gosh, nobody is. People that got only seen it when they come live.
Okay.
So the next show we have, you guys see it, because I do 2 verses over Like a Stone.
Really?
And it's disgusting.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
And Matt kills the solo now. Since
And
Matt
Matt
did
just
on the
left
project,
it go.
just drops the killer solo just like Morello. I'm like, this is wicked.
Like a Stone is one of my favorite Audio Slave songs too, so I can't wait to hear your version.
I might have to sneak you one through your email.
You might
just
have
like,
to.
yeah.
Sorry. There's no mic. You will.
Okay.
You'll just send
Perfect.
it to us because we want to hear it.
All right.
Yeah.
We won't send it to anybody else. We promise. We've done that with other guys.
We
that have
absorb
sent
a
us
lot of
stuff.
music. We love it, right?
Perfect.
Like,
Seriously.
that's kind of Dog's like I listen to a lot of music. He's constantly got music on. Like I'll call him at home and he's
And he's out everywhere.
I know.
I love
I'm
it.
trying to do more, like, cause like, we talked about this, and like you, like everybody else, like you're there, like, you know, Kyle's there.
Yeah.
Some other people
Super
I've
Kyle.
seen, Super Kyle. And I've seen other people like, I can't remember their names, it's bad, but I remember the faces, like, you were at the last show I was at,
Yeah.
you were at the last show, and it's amazing that these people are out every show. And I feel because this is what we're doing, I feel that one of us needs to be there. I mean, James is really busy with his daughters and stuff, so, you know,
Yep.
I got nothing to do, I'm by myself. I mean, if I can get to a show, I'm gonna try my best to get there,
Yeah.
for sure, I love it.
Well, and they love having you there.
I know.
They do.
It's good.
They
It's
do.
so genuine too, it's like, oh my God, you're here. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know, I'm here, let's play.
People,
Yeah.
people like you
Yeah.
there.
They do.
Except for this.
That's not true.
No, I'm just teasing.
In the end. How did you and your wife meet?
Work.
Yeah.
It's way back, yeah.
Yeah.
It's work thing. So
A work of romance.
yeah, it was.
Sorry, was that wrong? Did I kill the vibe?
Well, it was
It's gone.
weird.
It's gone.
Oh,
Turn the page.
sorry.
It's gone.
It was weird.
How was that weird?
Well, I don't know. It was a kind of a normal question, and then you kind of went, "Oh, work romance." Yeah. Then you sound like Ken Kniff from Connecticut.
And he loves doing this because the very first time he got in front of a mic, he put on his DJ voice, and that was the end of that.
That's true.
So they get Casey Kasem.
Yeah,
voice?
Casey Kasem.
No,
Top
I just-
40.
I just dropped it down a low. Right?
Yeah, he thinks he's like Lou Rawls now. You'll never find. Anyway,
I don't get the reference.
of course you don't. Anyway,
Speaking of radio,
yeah.
I used to do radio.
Yes. Talk
Oh,
about
For a
that.
little bit.
Oh, please.
For a
please
little
tell
bit.
us, yeah.
Talk about that.
So I don't know if you guys know CKCU.
We know
Yeah.
CKC.
You guys know Daddy Rich?
Yeah.
He's awesome. That's like my boy. So I used to listen to him on the overnights back in the days, back in the 90s. So I used to take the bus and go to Carlton U and then go upstairs, and Mikey Wisdom would have his 12 to 2 show, the late night shift, and then I did the overnights with Daddy Rich. Wasn't hosting it, but I was there to spend time. So then he fell to Fridays back in the 2000s, the mid 2000s, so I went back and co-host with him for a few months. It was actually really fun.
Cool.
I missed it.
So
I
cool.
loved it. So when I got part of a show, I said I want to handle the Ottawa area artists and bring them in and do a whole bunch of community outreach and stuff. So I set up interviews with local artists, got them to come in the station and do stuff. So I was with DJ Two Creams.
No sugar.
That was awesome. It was a
That
good
is
experience.
awesome.
Yeah, because we wanted to do something along those lines too. Is we're talking about looking into getting our own radio show, and then doing local artists.
That would be wicked because Ottawa needs that, like even more now, right?
Well, Bob Ross went and put a Spotify playlist together, which everybody should download. And
Yes,
it's an
you should.
Ottawa band playlist, and it's amazing.
Yeah, Bob's awesome.
Yeah,
And it wasn't just 5 songs; it
no,
was a massive amount of
I think
songs.
there's like 7 hours worth of music on this
Yeah,
this playlist.
all
and
Ottawa.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
A few bands are missing, Bob. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, it'd be cool to like maybe we should have him on as one of our radio DJs.
Of course.
Find
I'd
some
love to
time.
come out. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do that.
we're gonna look
We'll have
into
to
that for sure.
we have to figure it out. Maybe you can get us hooked up with CKCU.
I will talk to the director for you.
You the man. You the man.
Yeah, just make that phone call right now. We'll listen in.
All right, I'll get right on that.
Put him on the spot. I'm just saying.
Do you call him now? Can we call him in from the show? Do you? So what's your? Do you have a life motto? Like, what is your credo? Like, if you were to have one.
I don't know. I think because I've changed my mind over the last few years, right? So now it's just go get it. Just leave everything on the table, right? And just go after what you want. And I think everybody should be doing that now because the way the world's changing and everything's changing, like you can't pause. Don't overthink about it. If you have something in your mind that you want to do, just go get it. Like stop taking the time to overthink and wait because I'm telling you, we know at our age. Right, you're not getting any younger, and the time span, like the time that you can do it shrinks. So go fucking get it. That's it, that's all.
Exactly. And like it's funny. Do it while you can too. Like at some point when we're all 70 years old or whatever, you don't want to sit there and go, I could have done that.
Yep.
I don't want. That's my biggest fear is being that age and saying, fuck, I could have done this and I didn't.
Yep.
And as opposed to. I love the hat too. It says "Never give up." Everybody, I'm sure you'll see
Ivor
it.
fashion.
Yeah. But it's a good credo.
Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was watching a show today with a guy who passed away at 66, and he felt that he missed so many things, and it was just sad to see, right? A little tear in there, like, bro, like he could have.
Well, especially when you're coming up on that age. Too.
Well, and he got sick really fast.
Yeah.
He was living in the woods and doing everything he wanted, and then all of a sudden got cancer, and boom, he was gone. I was like, man, you saw the last episode, and he's just all the stuff you wanted, you couldn't. You can't wait for that, because you're gonna regret a lot of things that you shouldn't.
Well, that's the one thing that they ask these people that are in retirement homes.
Mhm.
What do you regret? And they said, working too much on something that I didn't care about,
Yeah.
or not spending enough time with your family, or these things like that are that we all, we all want to make money, we all want to be successful, we want to do things like that. But a lot of your time is spent trying to generate income as opposed to enjoying the journey of getting to that income, and then also missing out on some points that with our kids or with your wife or with your family or whatever.
Yep.
So I think that I watch these videos constantly. I'm sure you do too. It's like, you just remind yourself, like if you listen to like say David Goggins or somebody like that who's like running 100-mile, that's another extreme, but he's like, he just doesn't give up. He just doesn't, like, it's let's go, like we have to try, or your mind is stronger than your body, right?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna shut down, your mind's gonna shut your body down, your body's not gonna shut down, it's your mind is controlling it.
That's right.
So yeah, it's a very interesting, it's the psychology of it, and just, I love the answer. It's like, just do it, go do it.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Just do it.
Been telling you for,
Yeah, I know you've been telling me forever. And I'm listening.
that's what you're doing now.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
That's why Nike had the best slogan, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Just do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just
do it.
fucking do it. Just,
Yeah.
No excuses.
Well, they're doing that movie, the Air Jordan movie, right?
Yeah.
Like how the shoes came
Yeah.
about, and how Phil Knight hated the name Air Jordan. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds terrible. It's like only the best name in history.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, Yanick, if we came into your house and went through your record collection or music collection, what's going to surprise us? What are we going to find? And we're going to go,
Grand Funk,
nice. That wouldn't surprise me.
Iron Butterfly.
Okay, that might surprise me. I got out of the V.
Yeah, baby. Yes.
Classic.
Yeah.
I like that track.
Yeah, it's a good track.
My record collection just got massively bigger because my dad's moving, so I got
Okay.
all his too now, and I'm like, it's all stuff I listened to as a kid, right? But that just increased, they
Nice.
doubled it.
Like 70s and like 80s.
Yeah, even 60s, and there's some 50s from Winona side, the Italian
Nice.
side, and there's, it's
Some
good
Italian
stuff.
50s music. I like it.
They had some great music.
Yeah, for sure.
It. Yeah, everything
Driving
just
the-
that you
driving
put
the
on.
Vespas and like, like.
Sipping a cappuccino.
Sorry for the stereotype.
I'm outta here.
Antipasto.
Forgive us. Yannick's like already at the door.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, it's gonna get
Um,
dangerous in here real quick.
What are like some of the resources that you're, we started, I'm sure you started music and there wasn't as much technology as there is now, but is there a resource that you go to that has helped you immensely along the way?
Yes. So back in the days when it was high school, and that's when I started emceeing. I was doing shows with a bunch of other groups. So I did one with G.I. Joe back in '98. So G from G.I. Joe works at Planet Studios now in Montreal. He's one of the biggest producers in Canada. So he's producing people in India. He's doing stuff. Everything is getting sent to him. He's working with Naya Ali in Montreal. So he's the guy that when Ornate tracks anything, I'll record it where we do our recordings. I ship it to Montreal. He does all the mixing, the mastering, and it's top notch, like just beautiful quality. And he's always there for insight. And I was working with an artist out west, and I would send her stuff over to him to validate. And we keep in touch. He's been one of the biggest pieces for Ornate.
Very cool.
Yeah, really cool guy.
Now, for me, because Gus and I talk a lot about technology.
Mhm.
Do you struggle with anything like trying to figure out the new stuff that's out there? Because like there's a lot of stuff coming at us. Like Gus will go check out this app, and I'll go, I don't know what that does.
Yeah, there's
Do you struggle with that kind of stuff as well?
my younger girls are wicked at all the apps and everything. I just need my phone that I can text and have my Facebook and my Instagram, and then my computer at home has the software that I've used forever, right? Cubase, it's all Steinberg stuff. It's all stuff I know.
Okay.
I can't mess with anything else, man. It's too crazy now.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I use a GarageBand from Apple, and I can't. He's like, "Well, try this one." No.
Well, I started the Ornate TikTok, and then I'm watching all these young guys, and the guy up north, Gen X, he's like, man, your promotion is lame. He's like, you gotta do all these, and he's showing me like all these videos he does with like designs and text layover and all this crap. I'm like, oh, fuck fucking time to do this, man. I gotta write music, I gotta schedule, I gotta do recordings. Where do I have time to put, TikTok? Can't do it. It's not for me.
Yeah. It's well, yeah, it is. I mean, it'd be cool to get your music on there. That would be something that would help maybe get you more, people listening to your music just because they would use it on a video or something. But
Well, it's on there because we distribute to all of them.
Yeah,
so
but you being in it and using it. Yeah, I get it. It's tough. I started a Dawg and Gus TikTok page. I don't follow up with it as much. We do have a page, but I do more of my stuff on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
because that's kind of my wheelhouse, right?
That's what everybody's using our age, anyways, right?
Well, yeah.
As much as they said Facebook's dead and this is dead, everybody's
there's,
on it.
there's always like the trolls on TikTok. You're too old to be here.
Yeah.
It's like, you're right, I am, but I'm gonna stay. But I don't do any videos for TikTok. I just stay up late at night watching the stupid things.
Yeah, you're standing outside the door watching, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Creepily.
Yeah, I'm creepily again. Yeah, I'm a creepy person.
You guys are best.
Anybody out there want to be a host of a podcast and your name's Gus? Give me a call.
Well, you already got a new name for the next one.
I know. Thanks to our friend here.
Sorry, guys.
Dawg and Gus, baby.
What is a myth about when you go out and do a live show? Is there any myths or something that isn't actually true, like in your job that you do?
A myth. I don't know, that it's hard.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot. It's hard to do show. It's hard. You're there, to do the show. That's part of the job, right? As an artist, it shouldn't be hard. It's go in and fucking do it, right?
Yeah.
I see, people missing lyrics or missing chords or this, right? This is a job from the time you record it to rehearsing to stage, right? And your job's not done till you do that. And it should be seamless, right? If you really want to do it, and you want to do fucking music, you gotta know this stuff. You gotta know your craft. Get on stage, give them what they want, and get off. It's a job.
It's good, and it's a job that you enjoy,
Yeah.
right?
Well, if you do music, I hope you enjoy it,
Well,
right?
exactly. Well, you're doing it on weekends and evenings, and you're taking your time to do it then.
Yeah.
But your regular job is to get you to the point where you can afford to put yourself on stage and make some music, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the goal. Eventually, the goal is to make money just doing
It
music.
is. That's right.
But there's harder jobs.
There
than
literally
making
is.
music, right?
Because it shouldn't be I understand with the writing now and AI is doing writing and
Yeah.
people are using that and I'm like, oh god, okay, where are we going with music now, right?
I don't know, man.
Like music is something that's just in you. And I'm starting to look at High School Musical songs now because my daughter's got the music in me, right? So
Oh, that's cool.
but it is in you, and when you're writing music, it's. I see people struggling to write songs or struggling to write material. I can't wrap my head around that because it's pen to paper and it's just seamless, right? You feel it. You feel the vibe from the beat. You feel the bass. You feel the rhythm of the guitar, and it's just let it go. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it, right? That's one part of it is just being an artist is putting yourself also on paper in the music, and it's you because everything else is just fake. Stop. Just put yourself
Don't
in
worry
it.
about what the people outside, where you just enjoy what you're doing and
Yeah.
people will like it.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that it's a good mentality too, because worrying about what they're gonna think about what you're singing is the wrong thing.
It is.
And I think it's the wrong thing in everything.
Yeah.
Not worrying. The issue now with all the young people I find is they worry so much about the outside. They worry about what that person thinks of me, or what I'm only gonna drive this car because that's what I should be driving, or this and that and that. Drive what you want, do what you want, sing what you want. And don't give a shit about the outside people. Dude, he's giving us he's preaching to us, right?
Yeah, preaching to the choir, baby, because that's exactly what we think. So
Yeah.
that's why-
That circle of thinking should be
exactly.
bigger.
Yeah, it should be a lot larger.
Yeah.
You're right. But like Gus just said, the younger generations are so fixated on what they should have and what they should be doing and what people are telling them they should be doing and not
Yep.
listening to themselves, right?
Yeah, it's a big.
Now, here's the question I've asked before, because you write your own stuff.
Yep.
What is is it better for you as a writer and a performer to have people record your stuff? Like say, oh, I really want to do this song by Ornate, or to be at a show and see everybody in the crowd singing along to a song that you wrote?
That's the one.
Yeah,
Right
and that's
there.
the
That's
answer
one.
we get
That's
every
the
time.
one. Yeah. And that's, you know, we took a break at Ornate just to get more material down, because we when we started last year, we started doing shows. So we got a few shows under our belt, got the feel, and we're like, yeah, no, people want this.
Yeah.
So it's good. So the problem was we're at a set length that limits you. So we got festivals coming up this summer, and we needed a longer set. So that's hurting me right now with that, because it hurts all of us. We we want to be on stage, but we need to take the time to write music, right?
Yeah.
To get us back on stage. But then, you know, overload us with the shows to have the crowd singing, you know, like maybe Never Break Me Down or
Yes, that's a
something
great
like.
tune.
But that's what you want as an artist.
Good tune.
Yeah, it's a great. I love that tune. I was listening to it, like I said, on Wyntr. Yeah, so because I noticed with the smaller shows at the smaller venues, you got like 35 to 40 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're at a festival, what would you get, like an hour and a bit?
Yeah, you're an hour and a half is where we want to target. I think me and Matt were talking. If we can get close, like just an hour and 15 minutes, get a good, you know, another half an hour or a set would be great. And we mix it up too, because we play, we do remixes hip hop over like Zeppelin, AC/DC. So we throw that in the mix. It's little freestyle stuff just to drive up the set and get the crowd going. But you know, we want to put some new original stuff in. We're actually tracking one of our songs from last year, Devil Makes Five, that we do on stage. So we're tracking it tomorrow night. We're putting the final tracks down for guitar and bass, and that one's, it's a different ornate than what you heard.
Yeah.
It's a little heavier.
Ooh.
And that's the direction we kind of want to just bring out for a little bit. It's just a little bit heavier, a little bit more funk, but a little bit more like just something to grab the crowd, right? Like we're here.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
I like that. He lights up when he talks about it, eh?
Yep.
You notice that?
I love that.
Me too. I
That's
love
what,
it too.
that's one of the most exciting parts of when we're talking to folks and stuff, and they kind of just, the eyes go wide, and they're just kind of like, they're really excited, and they're talking quicker because they want to get everything that they want in their head out onto the
It's
mic.
excitement. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like so nice to hear.
For sure.
The other thing, so Led Zeppelin,
Mhm.
big fan of Led Zeppelin. But, what song do you go to if you're gonna rhyme over?
Well, we did a whole lot of love. And yeah, no, that's what we did at the last show, and it blended well too, because we were right out of Back in Black into that and just transitioned. The guys are so great instrumentally. I don't know how they did it, but we mixed it up with the Back in Black, and all of a sudden 1, 2, 3, boom, and then right into Zeppelin. It was really, really cool. I think
Now,
there's still video online of that.
Yeah, is it fun to watch the crowd figure this shit out?
Well, it just blew their mind, because
Yeah.
I mean they heard when we started in Kingston doing the Back in Black one, and I just love it because it's such a hip hop beat, right? All the drums for AC/DC, you could drop anything on it.
That's true.
And just when we hit Zeppelin, people are like,
Yeah.
what the
How
heck
much
is
fun
going
is that?
on? It was wild.
Yeah.
It
How
was
much fun
fun
is
too.
that though? You're like,
Yeah, but even then, the chorus, Wes and Matt are singing, "Oh, let it love," and then everything's joining in. People are like, "This done. I'm on. What the hell just happened?"
Yeah, that's
It was
awesome.
really awesome.
That's
Really, really
awesome.
cool.
you gotta love when that happens though. For
Oh
sure.
yeah. Well, they got the Stoke, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're picking some good tunes to drop in there, so
It's great.
we approve, by the way, guys. So keep doing what you're doing.
Do you want to ask, or should I?
You can ask, because I know I already know the answer.
Well,
And I'm sad.
You don't know that.
I am. Go ahead and ask.
All right. So we asked this question. I'm sure you've heard. Is that if you were to choose an era of either the 80s or the 90s for music, what are you choosing?
Do I even have to say it?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, just for me.
All right.
For
it's
the record.
90s.
You pointed right at Gus.
You're already sad.
I know.
Yeah.
And now I'm
Can I ask
desolate.
you, why the 80s over the 90s?
I just grew up more in that
I
era.
know.
I mean, the 90s, it was, I don't mind the 90s music. I just, like the hip hop I didn't listen to. I honestly can say that. I
But
didn't
not
listen
even the
to.
hip hop, right?
No, but the grunge I didn't really get at that time.
Okay.
I'm kind of a slow learner when it comes to some music, because I didn't get into Zeppelin until like the 80s.
Yeah.
So I went back and started listening to it all. But in high school, I didn't listen to Zeppelin. I didn't listen to any of the heavy stuff that all my friends listened to. I was listening to Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash,
Okay.
and then the 80s stuff that I really liked, like Johnny Clegg and Savuka. Like Scatterlings of Africa just blew my mind. I love that album. And that's what I listened to. And so I'm kind of graduating. Now I'm listening to like Soundgarden and you know Pearl Jam and all this. Like I'm kind of catching up,
Yeah.
right? But I don't dislike it. It's kind of the 80s is just my niche
Yeah.
for music. So
That's why we
It's
have
still
this,
cool
we
though.
have this
It's still
question.
cool. That's
Yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like I bug them, but we all had like some '80s music for sure.
Yeah.
For us, I would imagine it was like I didn't like I'm like you. I don't like a lot of '80s music, but I like some.
Yeah.
Like 8 songs. And one of them's Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time.
Yes.
Okay, so you can't.
And
say-
Rick James is a bunch. Like
You
I don't get
can't,
it.
I'm sorry, you can't criticize the 80s music if you like Party All the Time by Eddie
Great
Murphy.
tune, bro.
Last night at this, Matt was over. We were tracking guitars, and I was talking about. He was working on some tracking for a collabo that I have coming out with K9 Bamford, an artist that previously on my label back in 2012. It's crazy. So I said that, we're trying to structure the song with the chorus, the verse, this and that, and then at the end, double chorus, and then finish like an 80s song. And he's like, what? The 80s? And I was like, it came out. It was super weird. I apologize.
I was in a moment.
It was pretty funny. He's like, no, not the 80s. The hell song in the 80s finished well.
Never criticize the 80s music.
Oh,
No,
that's good.
I do agree. Every era has bad stuff and good stuff, and the 80s is no
90s
exception. Please.
Bro. Maybe the
Ace of Base, boom.
Not bad.
Terrible.
The boys bands and stuff I didn't like.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But I'm just saying that, come on. We had
Come on.
The last great era was the 90s.
It was. That's true. I agree.
People are still wearing Air Jordans.
That has nothing to do with music.
It does, actually.
No,
it
it
has a
doesn't.
lot to do with the culture.
Tim's.
Tims are all still a
Yeah.
thing. People with flat brim hats. Although that was also in the 80s as well with Public Enemy, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's true.
But that was
Run
1990 when that happened.
Run DMC.
Just saying. Well, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. But the 90s, but it's the last era. 80s had its era, and they had their the guys look like girls in the way that and it's
Sure did.
And it's that's
And
that
you're
was
just
a cool thing, right? The heavy metal bands wore makeup, and
Yep.
it was interesting.
And you're just angry because you were attracted to them. That's probably why.
I was 5, but so no. But the thing with the 90s is it's the last era where it was kind of independent.
Yeah,
because
it's true.
everybody's going back to the 80s and 90s and 70s and those looks, right? Like
Because new styles were created,
That's
right?
right.
They babied all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, if we're talking like fashion stuff, then the 80s sucked. It was a bad.
yeah, 90s are
That
cool.
era
Man. They
of-
still everybody's still wearing the teals and they're wearing like the cool Nike sweaters and like it still happens, man.
but not the wind jackets. I hope they don't bring those back. The
No.
wind suits.
Oh, no.
Those were when you're skiing, après ski.
Ben oui.
No, it's true though. I find it interesting. It's such a fun topic
It
because
is.
there is an era for everybody, and 80s was yours, and 90s was
Actually,
ours.
it's
so.
not was. It like I do like the 60s, the 70s. I even like the 50s.
Yep.
And I like a little bit of everything. It's just the 80s was like they say your formative years, right? Like when you're 12 or 13 years old, this is when you start the basis of your music collection, like your own music collection, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Because I listened, like I said, to all the old country when I was younger. That's all we had in the house.
Yeah.
Mom liked Elvis. Dad liked Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, all that stuff. So that's what I was brought into. And then I started with my friends, and it's like all the rock bands from the 80s and the late 70s.
For sure. I mean, our parents brought I didn't like Fleetwood Mac,
Yeah, we ran this up.
but Rumors was on every Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now I love the album.
Yeah.
But it's like at the time you're like, fuck, can we just play like my MC Hammer?
Yeah, man.
Well, the cool that bringing up MC Hammer, the cool thing was when we used to take family trips with my dad, and he was so came from raised with the Italian mother, and it was always music and big families. And when I was a kid, I was about 10 or 9, and my brother was a little younger, and the family would go out, and the tapes in the car was like Aerosmith Greatest Hits, MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, Fleetwood Mac, Zeppelin, it's all the weird mix, right? And it was so cool. And my dad would be like, yeah, and he'd drive the car, and it's like, that's awesome, man. It's so cool that just
Yeah.
So that's when people say, what kind of music were you raised with? I was raised with everything,
Same.
right?
Same.
Everything, absolutely everything.
Well,
Hip hop was a choice.
Unfortunately, my dad wasn't that cool. He was super cool in his way, but I remember.
Well, he loved the great country artists.
He
like,
sure did,
you know.
yeah. He was growing.
That's an era too, man.
Yeah, I know that's an era. It's an amazing era too.
For
So.
me, because I spent so much time with my older brother, I was always in the car, and he'd always have like Dire Straits and like
Yes.
Tom Petty, and
Yeah.
like cool stuff from the
80s.
Yep,
right?
Dire Straits was the tape
That's
on
right.
record too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
well,
good.
Dire Straits. I mean, like talking about guitarists and such, like Mark Knopfler as a finger picker, and I'm sure you would agree, is probably one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
Well,
What would you say?
just give us a nod, Matt. I believe that.
Well,
He's
what
kinda
about
doing-
like without a pick, finger picking, like?
He was
Fair
good.
enough.
He was good.
I'd pick Sensor.
Yeah.
Setzer, yeah.
Brian Setzer, yeah, from
That's
Serious
that's
Cats.
a great choice too.
Yeah, Rockabilly Baby.
Yeah. For the YouTubers, there's a guy over there.
Yeah, his name's
Matt Gerard from Ornate is here.
Yeah.
In support.
He's here for
Discussion.
emotional support because Yanick really needs
And he's,
emotional
gonna,
support.
and he's here to cut us off at a certain time.
Exactly.
All right, Kev.
Yeah, and you're done.
So going forward, because we're coming kind of to the end, I would be interested to hear. So you have the double album coming.
It's in the works this year, so hopefully release next year.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of tracks.
Yeah, it is. A double LP's long.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah. No, I do an old school double LP,
big,
not like.
Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's going to be about 20, 22 tracks?
I'm trying to do, yeah, I think it's gonna be about 26.
Okay.
Yeah, 13 on each.
But so the new Ornate album's going to be dropping. Is that the next project?
That's the project. That's the focus.
Yeah.
Is getting that done. Is getting the full set done, and then tracking an album. We got to do that. It's been a while. We've been tracking at this, and it's time to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think it'll happen this year?
I'm hoping. I would at least like to get 2 or 3 good singles out. I know, like I said, we're tracking the one, so we're starting tomorrow night on the finals. I'd like to get a few more. It's the thing I noticed the difference is just when you're working with a lot of great instrumentalists, it takes time to put stuff together, right? So, but we're all on the same page and we're all focused on the same goal. So, I mean, that's hype. I really like that.
Awesome. Now, we always ask this, are you going to drop hard copies or is it just going to be singles on like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff?
It depends what the people want, right? Because I seen some people drop hard copies and they just don't move. They try to push them out for $2 a piece.
Well, unfortunately, it's an expensive process, right? If people don't buy them, you're
Yeah.
stuck with all this.
Pressing vinyls,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
That's where I want to get into, but yeah, the cost has to come down because there was a point 10 years ago you could press vinyl for a little cheaper than what it is now, but that market's gone up.
Because people are buying them.
That's right.
Yeah, because
That's right.
like 10 years ago, vinyl wasn't selling and it was easy to do it, and now it outsold CDs.
It's just outsold
last year.
CDs. That's right. Newsflash.
Yeah, so what a
And CDs
concept.
cost like pennies to make, right? So,
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
well, it's like that's when again the '90s, the last era of CDs. That's when they made the most money because it was like the cheapest way. Like tapes were expensive, vinyl was expensive, but CDs were super cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would still charge you $20. Even back then, you were
Yeah,
paying
and-
$20 for a CD.
Yeah.
And you're
It cost you $1. or
yeah,
something.
you're making a lot of money off the CDs.
It's true.
Not so much off
Not the artists.
No, I know, not the artist.
The record labels.
Yeah.
And as sad as it is, that you can't sell CDs because first no cars come with them anymore. You can't do anything with them. But Spotify's not paying shit.
No,
Nobody's paying.
we've
shit,
talked about that
right?
many times.
And and it's just that's the problem. What do? How do you get the money out to fund your stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So you
It's
work
not
all
cheap,
day and you just put your
Well, that's
own
why
money
we
in.
keep saying, come out to the shows, buy the
Yeah.
merch, support the bands, because that's how they make their money, guys. They don't
Yeah.
make it off of Spotify and Apple Music. They don't make it there.
No, and it costs money you gotta fork up front to get your merch. Merch doesn't come to you, they don't front it to you, they're not
No.
drug dealers, right? You gotta pay for the shirts, pay for the hats, pay for everything, and you sit on inventory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, support all your artists and bands locally, please.
absolutely.
Yeah. That's kind of our credo right here on the show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
our
awesome.
life motto.
Thanks so much for coming, man.
Yeah,
I
this was
appreciate the
awesome.
invite, guys. Thank you guys are
We'll have
awesome.
you back. We'll have the group, and maybe Mark will have something to say. Matt, sorry. It was because I said Knopfler. My apologies. Matty, I'm sorry.
Good cover up there.
Yeah,
buddy.
exactly.
I am pretty quick on my feet.
You are.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Until next
Cheers.
time, guys.
Sorry, Matt.
No worries. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was
Thank
fun.
you so much.
Awesome.
You're so great.
That's great.
Always.
Yeah, if we get ordained, that'd be cool too. And then,
Yeah,
like I said, if
absolutely.
you guys want to do the radio thing and that's something serious, I gotta talk to people.
If you could get us on a CKCU and have us have like a 2-hour show where we could talk about local music and play local music, I'd fucking love you.
What I'm gonna try to do actually, because Jason,
Or
Daddy
something.
Rich is over at CHUO now, and he does the morning shift.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and talk to him, see if he's got any polls, because he's been in University Radio for fucking 30 years, so he's got somebody. And I
Yeah,
know a
'cause
lot of DJs out there that
We
do
would
radio.
love